Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be talking about the Eagles. So yesterday I did the Lions video, and I'm going to try, this is the goal, every day to get one of these classes off and finish up all the draft classes after, hopefully the month of May and a little bit in June, obviously, because there's more teams than days. I'll do the Eagles today. The Lions one will be super long because it's my team. And if, the better the draft class is, the more interesting highlight guys I think there should be, the longer it'll be. For Philly here, I'll just quickly go through all of them here. There's only going to be highlights for a few of the picks, and I'll let you know when. But start off, obviously, with Jalen Carter. Dude's an unbelievable player. On the field, unbelievable. Can't stop him. Obviously, the issue's off the field, because if it was only on the field, he would have gone first overall, and you would figure out the whole quarterback thing later. Or he would go 3 to the Texans in that situation. He's coming into an interesting situation. He's got a lot of his friends and his teammates where he was able to, still be on the field with Georgia. And then he's also got veteran presence like, Fletcher Cox, right? Legend of the game, Hall of Famer, defensive tackle. And Carter's going to be, right next to him. I'd imagine Nolan Smith will probably play alongside Carter and alongside Fletcher, and Carter will kind of listen to those two. He's been used to being the best player his entire career. I hope that, he figures it out, because I'm praying for the kid. He's got a lot going on, and hopefully, he had a wake-up call of falling from 1 to 9, and the amount of money he lost there on that alone hopefully was a nice wake-up call, and he can get his life together and, get back to being the good kid he was at one point, I'm sure. But as for the football pick, it's unbelievable. Again, if you can get him to stay on the field, this is the steal of the draft already. Speaking of steal of the draft, you got the next Georgia guy, because they end up acquiring 4, but only drafting 3 Georgia players. Nolan Smith. This guy, unbelievable as well. 4'3" linebacker. Obviously, he had some injury concerns, and it's pretty much a clone of their draft last year. Nakobe Dean, the best captain of their defense. Guy was running around doing everything. Injury concerns made him slip. Nolan Smith was fast enough and had not as bad of an injury, which made him only slip to the end of the first round. But you also took a defensive tackle from Georgia. So real good stuff there. These 2 first picks are unbelievable. I mean, they won the first day. Obviously, winners and losers in draft grades are pretty useless, especially if they're on the field, right? Until they're on the field. But on paper, these 2 absolutely blew out of the water. They added up Tyler Steen, guard from Alabama. Solid. I mean, offensive linemen from Bama. If you can start at Bama, you're damn good for me. Needed to address that guard position. People thought they might do it a little bit earlier, but with the 2 guys that fell to you in the first round, you're not complaining. You can figure out the whole guard situation later with that massive defensive front. Sidney Brown, safety from Illinois. I'm not totally sold on the secondary from Illinois. I kind of talked about that with a few days ago when I was doing one of the quickly breaking down the first round. But Sidney Brown was, part of that good Illinois secondary. So if it was a really good secondary, it makes sense. Speaking of secondary, Kelee Ringo. This guy, a bit of a victim of having to face the best receivers in college football, being Georgia's number 1. You got him in the 4th round, pick 105. He's a damn good corner, and I think you could be able to turn him into a safety. Bit of a C.J. Gardner-Johnson replacement if you need to. Most people kind of thought he would maybe be a better safety than, the corner that he was. But when most people think of him, it's like, hey, he was the kid that guarded Marvin Harrison Jr. and torched him. Yeah, well, Marvin Harrison Jr. torched pretty much everyone. So that's, a pretty high bar to live up to. So I'm not nearly as worried as many people are with how he played. But, again, putting him in that system, he won't really have to play right away, I don't think. And, for him able to learn behind some of the best defensive guys in the league, like Darius Slay, watch out, man. He could become the people really thought he was. Tanner McKee, quarterback out of Stanford, really don't like this pick. Obviously this could come back and bite me, but he's probably not going to play. You have a really good quarterback anyway. Fixing the backup quarterback position, I think, is very important. He's a smart and cerebral enough guy where I think it'll happen. But there's a few other guys out there that I thought fit the scheme a bit more. Then again, I'm an armchair GM. I always like to factor that in at least once. Maybe Malik Cunningham, a bit of a running threat, kind of a similar play style to Jalen Hurts. Maybe would make a bit more sense, but, hey, sometimes people want backup quarterbacks to do a little bit of a different thing, kind of coming with a different offense. I guess Gardner Minshew isn't really a Jalen Hurts clone. And then with the 249th pick, pretty much the end of the draft, like one of the last guys in there, they had Moro Ojomo, defensive tackle out of Texas. Listed as defensive end here on this ESPN article I'm referencing. guy's a defensive tackle in my books. Hey, when you play that many times against Bijan in practice and you can stop him a bit, it's pretty good practice for the NFL. It's just another big body guy up front, kind of an insurance policy in case Jalen Carter has some issues, or even just starting to beef up the beef up the lineman room with the likely pending departure of a few of the good defensive line guys in Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox in the near future. So that's what I have for the quick breakdown of all these players. As for highlights, it'll be Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo, and Moro Ijomo. The rest of the guys, it's tough to have safety highlights and stuff. And Tanner McKee, you can look up highlights if you want. I don't know if you want to if you're an Eagles fan. I'll put it that way. That's all I got for now. Please stay and watch the highlights. Kick back, relax, and see your guys. And if you're playing against the Eagles, maybe don't watch it, because these are some pretty impressive highlights, because these kids are damn good. So 2 thumbs up from me, from Howie Roseman. Good job. Not like you need a random kid from Michigan giving you credit about your draft, but hey, the other GMs are mad that you're getting so much credit, and if you're getting that much credit, it means you're doing something right. So shout out my Eagles fans, shout out Matt, Torque, and Tyler. So shout out you guys, and please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time, but continue watching this video. Peace.
Jalen Daniels would like to, but Jalen Carter's got him again.
And I wonder if Kirby Smart will dare take a timeout here.
Did you see that at the end of the play? He lifted him up with one hand. My, oh my.
I'll tell you, I think he's the best non-quarterback draftable player. Might even include those guys. But look at him fight through 2 people.
And then watch this.
Lift him up.
With one hand.
Oh, my goodness. That's like, I'm going to be the #1 draft pick right there.
The crowd is in a frenzy over that play. And Jalen Daniels is not so happy about it.
But he didn't throw him down.
No, he actually lifted him up and then let him down.
Remember, that ankle will not be 100% for Jalen Daniels till the spring football. What a play. Jeez. He reminds me of Chris Smith, the old Mississippi State defensive tackle, playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Just a man inside. You can shift him to the defensive end, and Chris Jones for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Cook, the draw. Nothing.
Number 12, Brady Cook
is near midfield. They do have a stop.
They're at 6. Means the edge rushers have a tough time getting there.
Try a draw play, and the ball is out. And Georgia's got it. Tyrion Ingram Dawkins.
If it's done by 88, blows it up, reaches from behind, and makes the...
From his inside position.
It was huge in the win against Tennessee. Had 2 forced fumbles. Rodgers given some time, now retreating, and throws it away.
That's Jalen Carter. He's going to spy first, and then he's going to delay rush as soon as the quarterback leaves the pocket.
Their first down. Georgia bringing pressure, and they drop to Lou Griffin for a loss of 1. It was Jamon Dumas Johnson, and here's Matt Berry. 8 defensive players drafted. 5 in the first round. They're just about exactly the same statistically as they were a year ago. And there's Jalen Carter to stop that play.
Yeah, I think he might pull him, but Jalen Carter just too quick.
3-3 in the SEC, all 3 wins at home. Been a much better team here. High snap handled. There's Dylan Johnson, who did not get the first down.
In that assessment, but they're both outstanding.
And Jalen Carter.
So is he. One-on-one battles all the time. Just goes right by the guard, Cole Smith.
On 2nd and 10 from the 4. Rodriguez trying to find a place to go, and it's going to go down, and that's it.
Time he gets matched up to the outside, middle of the screen, just stoves him. Wow. Nowhere to go, throws him away, and then...
He's going to keep pounding it, though. See what they can do. Only about a yard, and Jalen Carter says you're not going very far. Georgia 18, 2nd down at 12. with their star quarterback back in the shotgun. Rodriguez going to lose yardage here. We said it doesn't happen often.
Post, but to be in position to score before halftime. They'll run it with Dante Smith, and Dante Smith is planted for a loss of a couple. Jalen Carter.
To win national championships. Coaches aren't going to leave national championship contending teams with a quarterback that's not good enough.
It's an honor to wear number 18 now for LSU since that year. Josh Williams dropped for a loss by Jalen Carter. Settles in the slot to the left side. 4 receivers for Nussmeier. Williams in motion out of the backfield. And this one's batted down. 3 receivers to the right now. 1 coming back in motion. Josh Williams did not get it.
Man, that's hard to believe.
Blocking angles.
Stroud across the middle, and Buckeye fans wanted a flag. A late one came in, but they're saying the pass was deflected at the line.
Middle with Jalen Carter. See 88 get his hand up there? Yeah.
Dogs rush 3, drop 8, and they still get pressure and sack him at the 3-yard line. Nolan Smith knocking the big quarterback down.
Todd Monken said, no mercy. New guy in, we're going after him.
And Marshawn Lloyd blasted by Nolan Smith.
3rd down and 8. Cook brought down by Nolan Smith.
Yes. Just a great play. Do you think they knew this was coming? Well, watch this right here on the end of the line. He's just going to collapse.
We saw Georgia defense getting tired.
Robinson again hit low and knocked down by Nolan Smith.
Nolan Smith doing a really good job off the edge.
3rd down and 8, pistol formation. And they'll just hand it off. And Bigsby's nothing there. Nolan Smith, the senior, was in the backfield before the ball was even handed off.
Georgia has 3 timeouts remaining. Delayed blitz by Nakobe Dean. And another interception. This one's Nolan Smith. Back-to-back huge plays for number 4.
And I think Walker, number 44, got a tip on the play. Back-to-back big plays by Walker.
He's a freshman. Stays in the block, and it doesn't help. Doty got knocked free from the football. Nolan Smith hit him, and it got picked up by Quay Walker. That pressure leads to a turnover.
As we approach 1 minute in the quarter. And hit and drop for a loss. Montrell Johnson and Nolan Smith, who does that pretty frequently.
And Nolan Smith is one of those returning great football players. Going to be a number 1 draft pick this year.
Let's see if Hires. Nope, nowhere close. Nolan Smith and friends came in there to prevent the first down. Georgia's going to call their last time out. 5 wide receivers, and Wright wanted to keep it himself, and Georgia has figured that out. Nolan Smith was there to help clog the middle.
2nd down here for the Racers, trying to beat the clock before the half. Running out of time, and Nolan Smith able to wrap him up. That's the 5th sack of the half for this Georgia defense.
And trying to keep this wide receiver room happy. High snap. Cook pressured, and he goes down. The snap started him off on the wrong foot. Nolan Smith took care of the other one. It's an 8-yard sack for the Dogs.
And you know Kirby Smart's not happy with that. The red zone offense.
Here's Powell in some trouble. Escaped and now taken down. It's Nolan Smith. The sack, loss of 9 on the play. Smith among the top high school recruits in the country a year ago, coming to Georgia.
And then the pick six to seal it. And one more play for the Georgia defense. Georgia on the mountaintop.
Georgia. Hooker gonna go long to the near corner to Tillman, and it's intercepted by Kelee Ringo.
What a job by Kelee Ringo, because Cedric Tillman is very physical. Watch these two athletes fight all the way down the field.
Henderson in motion. Richardson to the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Shorter. Kelee Ringo back there in coverage, and it's third down.
Kelee did a good job. He actually had the man in the flat way out here, but he keeps his eyes on the quarterback. That's the pressure.
Stroud gets it out quickly. Incomplete on the slant. Tried to find Johnson. Ringo in coverage. 15 seconds to go. 3rd and 11.
Third down and 12. Remember, they picked up a third down and 11 on a penalty. So another long yardage. Fires and intercepted by Kelee Ringo. And Ringo bringing it back the other way and still going. Kelee Ringo, who won the national championship game against Alabama, has got it all the way back almost to midfield for the Dogs.
But this time, Levis tries to stick it in between the safety and the corner. Doesn't get it.
Four-man rush under pressure. And he dumps it off underneath. Ringo there to break it up. And Georgia Tech will have to kick it away.
With that timeout for the injury. Stroud checks it down to Johnson, and he is hit immediately by Ringo and knocked down. And it's third down coming up.
2nd and 8, and they hand to Davis. And he gets a few yards up to the 29 where Ringo makes the tackle. It'll be another third down for Vanderbilt.
You can continue to take time at the line of scrimmage.
Gibson, well protected, to the sideline, incomplete. Ringo jumped the route, and he knocked it away. P.J. Harris, the intended receiver.
As Johnny Walker, defensive lineman, took a swing at him. Tiger's going to run a reverse. That was dangerous. Love it. Relying on the quarterback to block, and he goes the wrong way. Kelee Ringo ends up making a stop for a loss of 9.
Boy, Nazir Stackhouse, number 78 for Georgia, was in the backfield in the blink of an eye.
Stroud checks it to Abuka. Goes up and makes the high catch. And able to motor for a few.
Showing pressure. Nope, dropping into his zone. A lot of pressure coming. Coburn is there. And for the second time, if he could just start to let it go, he could be the next great one.
And that's a beautiful rush. That's a stab to a chop. That stab.
Another opportunity. Oh, pressure. Yeah, big time. He's in trouble, and down he goes. Big Colin Ojimo, Tim. Watch him come in. The pressure's coming from depth, the inside game, and I love the fact that you're bringing Jalen Ford over at the...
It got taken from them late. Martinez felt the pressure from the weak side. He lost the football. It's down on the ground at the sideline and out of bounds.
Sorrell wanted it so bad, and they want it so bad. They bring 5. They get to Martinez. You can see the swat away, and the big man thinks he's got it. Sweat looks at it like a big bear on honey right here, like it's mine.
It's left formation. They motion out of it. And on the handoff, nowhere to go for Jones. He's swallowed up immediately.
At the 21. And here's a handoff to Gibbs. He sticks a foot in the ground, tries to turn it up. No way. Ojamo with the tackle.
Well, here's a little look, but Moro Ojamo is there, standing up. Frank Harris
Baskey, the defensive coordinator, so far in these first 3 possessions.
Duggan under pressure again and knocked down. And then Sorrell, who cannot be
For this offensive line, remember, true freshmen, young players all across this field, and the veterans are stepping up and emerging. Sorrell.
Road game, and man, the struggles have been real. Here's Jaden Nixon getting the carry, and he gets dropped after a game.
To come out in the second half to show that they're a real culture. And that's going to be a sack back at the 34-yard line. Deckers swallowed. You're going to see Hunter Deckers is in the pocket. Right there, you got to go, man. You got to run and get out. It's these debilitating.
Counting the yard lines on 3rd down to make sure that he was in the right spot. Martinez off play action to the sideline and nobody home for Knowles.
First 6 minutes of this game. Both Duggan and Ewers under consistent pressure. Here comes Texas with the blitz. Hit as he throws and bounces.
They do not have that top end speed on the outside this year.
2nd and 8 at the 47. And it's Gibbs. He slips. Crosses the line of scrimmage. Gains a yard.
2nd and 10. Squirrel Williams in the backfield. Takes the handoff and picks up 2 on the play. It'll be a 3rd down. And
came inside and allowed Presley to get to the perimeter. 122. Here's a pitch, and they're going to throw it back to Sanders at the 45, and Texas was all over it. And Sanders finally taken down.
In the open field by Thompson. 2nd and 3. Major. Not much there against the interior of that offensive line. Ojimo.
Inside the scoring zone, inside the 30. And hit immediately. Moro Ojimo in there to stop Andrew Henry.
That was very adept.
Thank you, man. Can't go to Mexico and not speak a little bit of Spanish.